trying to make bigger profits in your small business, like many of us, I'm sure you're feeling it. Business is hard. Now more than ever, you need to have a plan that will help your business not only survive, but thrive. I'm Marcia Reiner, business strategist on a mission, and I've helped tons of small business owners to establish and implement a tangible plan that guarantees sustainable profitability and guides their growth. I want to share with you what I've earned and learned today on Profit with a Plan. So I'm super excited to have my guest today, Matt Clark, and we're going to be talking about how to virtually grow your business or grow your profits through LinkedIn. Matt is the founder of the Virtual Edge and co-creator of Rainmaker Systems, the Rainmaker Systems, an online marketing system that helps entrepreneurs to get 2 to 5 high-value leads each day from LinkedIn without paying for ads. With their flagship program, Matt and his business partner, Wes, have helped thousands of businesses in 17 countries grow exponentially. They are now on a mission, just like me, to reach 10,000 businesses worldwide and build a vibrant community of rainmakers. The success of the Rainmaker system has led Matt to become the sought-after international speaker and has shared the stage with big names like Dr. Phil, JT Fox, and Michael Douglas, plus many more. Matt is also the author of The Proven Path, an automation playbook, and the automation income system, and has been featured on Wake Up, How to Live Healthy, Vibrant Lifestyle. So Matt, this is quite a resume, and we have spoken before about how powerful you really are. How did you get started in LinkedIn?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on the show, Marsha. And hello to all the listeners out there as well. Really my journey was a bit unconventional, I suppose, like most people. I didn't get started out in the online marketing world. In actual fact, my background is door-to-door sales. Like I knocked doors for 8 years, right?
Yuck. Who wants to knock on doors? Nobody wants to do that, so.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, most people, they hate it and they say like they can't think of anything worse. But I tell you what, man, like I loved it. I made a boatload of money. And more importantly, like it actually set me up for everything that I'm doing in life further on. Like it taught me sales skills. It taught me how to really connect with people in the fastest way. It taught me to have a bloody thick skin, excuse the language there, right?
I'd say you'd have to have a really thick skin to be able to door knock. I door knocked early in my career and I hated it. But history shows that it does have some merit to it, but you did it for 8 years and it sounds like it proved some really amazing results, right?
Yeah, it really did. And, I tell you something, you learn so much about yourself and who you are. I mean, there are days where you get so down and then like you picture this, right? So first like a real job. I worked as a waiter before that. And you're out there on the roads. It's freezing cold in the UK. The sun goes down at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it's freezing cold. You've got your manager shouting at you to get into doors and to sign up clients. And, you are like, you're freezing, you're getting shouted at, and you need to get deals, and people are saying no and slamming the door in your face.
Right.
And you've got to be able to turn yourself around. You've got to be able to pluck up the courage and to pluck up the will and the drive to go and knock that next door. And not just do it because you're checking the box, but do it with the best of your ability to actually get a result from there. And, those kind of skills and those kind of experiences are what really got me, going in entrepreneurship. Because I tell you one thing, man, entrepreneurship's not for sissies. Eh?
No, I totally agree with you. It is for hardcore people that are on a mission like you and I. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I did door-to-door sales for a while and then for about 8 years. And then in the last 4 years, I started up a company with 2 business partners and we grew a pretty big business. I mean, we were doing like $6 million a year, all door-to-door sales. I had like 25 salespeople and we were crushing it.
Wow.
But it kind of like got to a stage where I was like, how we made money became less important than making money. And, when everything was driven by money, I kind of felt like, I was working so damn hard. And one day I looked around in my apartment that I was living in and I still had boxes packed and I'd been there for 5 years, right? And I realized, like, is this the life that I really want? I'm working my butt off. You can't build relationships with people because you're traveling all the time and not to nice flashy places like out in the bush.
Oh,
Um,
yuck.
yeah. And you know,
And
so
it sounds like the lifestyle you were leading was horrible, and it sounds like also that you were unable to make relationships because you were looking for the next sale. So that turn and burn mentality.
absolutely. I mean, that was the thing. And, you know, it filters into every aspect of your life. And so I just decided I wanted something different. Right. And I went in search of these things. Like what I really wanted was to have live the laptop lifestyle.
Ooh,
Earn money while you sleep, travel the world, you know, work from anywhere. Turns out if you don't have rules in place, working from anywhere means you work from everywhere. And last
and
thing I
and
want,
and
yeah,
all weekend long and all night long, and yes.
oh, man. And the last thing I want is sitting on the beach with a laptop. You know, I want cocktails and I want sunshine and probably some good music as well.
Yeah, I have to say the laptop tan lines aren't very pretty either.
Very unsexy, right? Very
Right,
unsexy.
right, right. Cool.
And so,
So what happened? I mean, so you're living this lifestyle that you didn't want.
yeah.
You're dreaming of the lifestyle you do want. What changed?
Yeah, so you know what started happening was a lot of these speakers. So now I've sold my shares in the business. I had another little business running, which was completely separate, and a lot of these speakers were coming to South Africa through Success Resources, and I started going and seeing some of these guys looking for that next thing, right? And what I started noticing was that a lot of these guys were supposedly living the lifestyle. I mean, you can't really verify it, right?
Right.
But they were living the lifestyle that I wanted to live. And I started just taking a look at what they were doing. And I noticed a lot of them had this little system called Infusionsoft that they were using.
Hmm.
And I looked at this and I was like, wow, there is a system that I can implement that doesn't require people, doesn't take time off, doesn't get pregnant, doesn't take sick leave, doesn't magically not show up for work one day. And it'll do the
Right.
work for the people that I had.
Right.
And I was like, well, I can understand this. This is something I can understand and latch onto. So I flew over to Arizona, got certified, and came back and started helping people automate their businesses. And, you know, I mean, if you can hear this, right, I'm not somebody who knew what they wanted to do when they were young and like now I'm fulfilling it, right?
Right.
I'm
You
someone,
were out you were
yeah,
out searching for the next greatest thing, right? But you were
yeah,
successful coming out of that.
100%. It's like, you know, you try a few things, you see which things work the best, and you go do more of that.
Right.
And that's kind of where we started getting into LinkedIn because, you know, we found that we could help people automate their businesses. And it got to a stage where it's like, okay, cool, I've got this thing automated. Now I need leads. Now I need
Right.
people coming in so that I can use this automation.
The one thing that every single business owner, business worldwide needs are more leads.
Absolutely. And not just any leads, because you also get a lot of really crappy leads out there. And I was
Right.
looking, yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not a technical person. I don't have huge technical expertise. I mean, I can do some basics now that I've taught myself.
Right.
But for me, my number one thing, how do I get in front of more of my ideal clients and have conversations with them? Because I know is that if I do that, I'm getting clients.
Right.
And so, you know, we went down the route of Facebook marketing. It didn't work for us. We burnt a lot of money. We didn't get the results we wanted. We did the same thing with Google Ads, same thing with YouTube, just no results. And then one day, a friend of mine, I was chatting to her in Australia, and she just said to me, she's like, Matt, you got to check out LinkedIn. Here's a couple of things to go and do and see what happens. And man, we went and implemented that stuff, and I started getting leads. And then those leads started turning into sales. And I realized where the connection was for me was that what I was doing is that I was virtually knocking doors every single day,
Right. Wow.
right?
What a common thing. And you were so good at it before, and now you could do it virtually. Okay.
100%.
So it
But it's
sounds
got a
like
lot of
it's start.
distance.
I was just going to say it's starting to sound like your lifestyle business too.
Exactly, exactly. And so that's one of the pluses, right? The next plus is that I don't need to go out and travel to people anymore. I can do it from home. I can do it internationally. Also, I don't have to, you know, doing door-to-door sales, one of the big challenges was that you have to speak to the gatekeeper or the receptionist or the PA before you can get to the decision maker.
Right.
Whereas now, I just speak directly to the person.
I
right?
love this. I love this. So how hard is it to really find the people that you want inside of LinkedIn? Because I mean, we don't want to talk to just anybody, right?
It depends who you're targeting, right? So that's where I say not just anybody. You want to make sure that you get laser focused on who that ideal client is. But
Hmm.
how it's so easy to find it. Like I can literally pull up a list of thousands of my ideal clients within 5 minutes.
Really? Now, do you
Yep.
have to have the premium LinkedIn, or can you do this on the traditional free version of LinkedIn?
Well, I would always recommend if you're growing your business to get the premium version. Here's
Okay.
why. It gives you the ability to go and search for your ideal clients and run really detailed searches. The second thing is that on the normal version, you've only got a limited amount of connections, a limited amount of messages that you can send every month. And if you're growing your business, you don't want to be limited as to how many leads you can bring in.
Right.
And that's really the biggest thing. And the third thing is, I mean, it's like $80 a month.
Yeah, I was
And
going to
so,
say it's really reasonable.
yeah, I mean, if you had to go spend $80 a month on Facebook ads, you wouldn't get near as far as what you can do with this.
True, so true, so true. So talk to me about how do you define your ideal client? What are some of the pieces to that?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, there's tons of different ways, and you can go through those like avatar creation sheets, and we've all done them, right? And they
Right.
ask you the psychographics and the demographics and the this and the that, and where do you find them? And it's like, sometimes it's just a bit overwhelming, right? So I like to keep it super simple on LinkedIn. There's a couple of criteria that I want to think of. The first thing is that it's got to be somebody that is worth your time,
Hmm.
somebody that's going to be worth the time to get on a call with, that you can spend some one-on-one time, because it takes time to build the relationships and it does take some manual effort. Okay.
Sure does.
And that's okay, as long as you're putting it in the right direction. So if you're selling something for $500 once off and that's all you've got, right? I wouldn't really recommend this as a way to go. But if you've got something if you've got a low end offer that leads into a higher end and a next level and a next level where you can
Right.
build lifetime value, absolutely it's the place to be.
Like it. I like it. Okay. So you mentioned that you want to have the ideal client and you want to have an offer to make it worthwhile. So
Yes.
let's go down that ideal client again. So we're not going to do the tricky part, but we're just going to find the right one. So give me
Simplify
a
it.
little more on that.
Perfect. So we like to simplify it into 4 things that you can look at on LinkedIn. What is their job title?
Hmm.
What is their geographical location, their company headcount, and what industry are they in?
Okay.
4 things.
That's easy.
Now, it's so easy, right? And
Right.
here's the thing that needs to be thought about, right? Because to go and say my ideal client is entrepreneurs, all right, too broad.
Right. Right. That's like a
Anyone that'll
dentist.
pay me money.
Yeah, that's like a dentist saying, if you have teeth, you're my client, right?
Yeah,
Which is
exactly.
everybody.
Exactly. Just anyone who can pay me money, everyone needs my service, right? That's not a good fit. So actually, the more specific you get, the better it works. So let me ask you a question, right?
Hmm.
If you have a sore back, if you hurt your back, who do
Hmm.
you go and see?
I would think the specialist, the chiropractor,
The
right?
chiropractor, right?
Yeah,
Or the physio or whoever it is, right?
right.
Why not the GP,
Because I go to them when I have a fever or a flu or something like that.
right? Because they are focusing on the general, it says it in their name, general practitioner, right? You want the specialist because you know with absolute certainty that that they can solve your problem.
Right.
And it's the same thing when you're going for your ideal client, because when you go in and you say, right, I'm looking for CEOs of engineering firms that have between 50 and 500 people in their business in Texas, as an example.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. What that'll allow us to do is then go into the next, before we even get there, now we've got to dive deep into who are they as a person. What are their biggest pains and frustrations? Because a CEO is going to have different pains than an HR director, than
Mm.
a one-man business owner, than a nurse, right?
Right. Right.
So you want to understand for that person, what is their big pain points? What are the things keeping them up at night? And then what are their goals and desires? Where do they want to get to? And what are their big dreams and aspirations? Because once we've done that, then it takes us to the next step, which is called the pickup line.
The
Okay.
pickup line. I
Pickup line.
love it. So tell me
So
more about the pickup line.
absolutely. And what this does is this tells people how to work with you before they even talk to you. All right.
Okay.
So let's think about it like this. Most people, when I go onto their profile, and I'll use coaches, consultants, and advisors at the moment, because that's who we're targeting personally on LinkedIn. And a lot of them have got coach, author, mentor, speaker, podcast host, as what they say in there. And they think that it's different or it's going to give them SEO, but in actual fact, they're just being branded the same as everybody else.
Ah, okay.
So the question comes in is, how can you show people what result you can get them, in what measurable result you can help them achieve in a fixed time frame through a system or methodology? Do you want an example?
Please. You got me
Okay.
on the edge of my seat.
Okay, awesome. So I give you my example. And so we're working with, at the moment, targeting coaches, consultants, and advisors. So my pickup line is as follows. I help coaches, consultants, and advisors get 2 to 5 high value leads per day from LinkedIn through the Rainmaker lead system.
Okay. Wow.
So
Well, now you got to tell me, what's a high value lead?
Okay, absolutely. So for me, a high value lead is somebody that you have specifically targeted, someone that has taken a look at your profile, because step number 3 is to actually go and do a profile makeover, okay? Where you're focusing everything on your ideal clients. I'll come back to the high value lead now, right?
Okay.
So your profile, there's 10 things that you need to do to get your profile sorted out for conversion, and everything needs to be focused on the ideal client. So, from your banner to your professional image, to your pickup line, to your about section, having video testimonials on there, your publications, your little brag session, like all of that needs to be on there so that when people go on, this does half the work for you. Okay.
I think it's amazing. If you can get people, it sounds like if you say enough in the beginning, then you're not selling so hard when it comes to the conversation.
You don't need to, because it's done half the work for you. So now if we come back to the lead, right? So for me, a lead is someone that you've specifically targeted. So let's say coaches, consultants, and advisors. I want to speak to the owners of the business that have between 11 and 50 staff members, okay, 11 and 50 people in their business, and they're in California, as an example. Okay. So now what I'll do is, it's somebody that has gone and read my profile. I've specifically gone and targeted them and connected with them. I've sent them a personalized a personalized connection message. They've then connected. I send them a personalized welcome message, which says, look, something along the lines of this. This is who I help. These are the results we help people get. If you're interested in getting results like this, let's get on a chat and see if there's a good fit. And when they say yes, and when they say yes and give us their email address and cell phone number, that's what I consider a lead.
I like it. Okay. And you've already explained exactly what you do. And so they're coming to you interested and warm, right? Which is, when you're in sales, nobody wants to do the cold calling. They want the warm leads of people that say, I'm interested. Tell me more.
Yeah, 100%. And also, from a user's perspective, I mean, you and I chatted a little bit before, and we said we both had this, right? Where you get these like crappy, spammy emails that are so not relevant to you. And they're so far out there that you look at this and I'm like, dude, did you even read my profile or what? I've had LinkedIn marketing people reach out to me offering me LinkedIn lead generation services.
Yes, that is so familiar. What do you call that when they just send out blanketed, requests without even looking at your profile?
It's just spamming. They're just taking a shotgun approach with it. And
I think that's it.
And look, sometimes these things do fall through the cracks, which is okay. All right. But I want to make sure that, nothing is ever going to be 100% perfect in life, right? But I want to make sure that I'm hitting like 80, 90, 95% accuracy when I'm targeting people, so that the message and the conversation that we have with them is relevant to them. And that's when you have better conversations.
And I agree. I think that when you have these people that reach out to you and say, "Oh, hey, Marcia, I see you're in financial services. I help financial advisors grow their business," and I'm like, "I'm not a financial advisor. What are you sending me that for? And because they didn't take the time to read." But if you have that conversation and you build, like you said, you're targeted, they've read a little bit of your information, you're building a relationship with them before they even see you. And then you reach out to them and say, "Hey, if you're curious, let's chat." And then you have somebody that's already warmed up. I Love it. That would save so much more time than knocking on a cold door and saying, "Hi, I'm Marcia. I'm here to
Absolutely.
sell you something that I don't know if you need or not," right?
Yep, I did that for 8 years. I was like, I'm not going back to that. And I'd rather be. I mean, there were days where I knocked 300 doors, right? And
Yes.
we used to walk. We used to walk and walk and walk. And I look at that and I'm like, now I'm able to knock 40 to 50 doors a day of my ideal clients, get responses every day. I'm consistently having between 10 and 15 conversations going on at any given time. And, we get on average between, like me personally, in my diary, I have between 15 and 10 to 15 sales calls booked in a week,
I
you know?
love it. How do you do business if you don't have sales calls booked, ready to have those conversations? You're just sitting there waiting for it to, open the skies to open up and people to drop on you, which is totally ridiculous for any business owner. So I love this. So you mentioned that you have so many leads on your calendar already and primed to have conversations with. How much time do you put in on the front end? Do you put in a lot of time?
So I've actually designed it a little bit differently. And this is what we work with, on our high level clients that come and join us, is that we actually help them put systems in place. And systems not only, so there's two kinds of systems. There's technology and there's people. And in both of those, you have the overarching system, and then you either have the technology or you have the person that's going to be running that system. And so for us, what I do is the lead generation part of it is probably about 80% automated with some technology. Then I've got people on my team who will then go in and take the conversation further and actually start having those one-on-one conversations and start filtering them out. So when the person then comes in, they're now considered a lead, which I shared with you just now. Mm-hmm. Then what they do is that they'll actually call them and qualify them and make sure that they are a good fit. So they'll spend 5 to 10 minutes on a phone call with them and just make sure that they're a good fit. Because if they're not a good fit, it's pointless me getting on a call with them. It's not going to serve either of us.
Gotcha.
And so what we do is that if they're a good fit based on the script that we've put together, and the qualifying criteria we put together, then they'll book a call in with me. And in between that, they've got to watch a video before they can talk to me.
I like that system. It really starts to qualify them. So you're not wasting your time on people that aren't ready or serious about working with you. And they're not, you're getting, it just seems like it's so much more pointed and valued on your time, and you're not wasting it and talking to people that aren't going to buy your product.
Absolutely. And so, you asked about the time commitment. So there's a couple of things, right? Because of that system, we're closing, I close between 60 and 70% of the conversations that I have.
Impressive.
Right? So I need to do less. Thank you. But the system does most of the work. That's the beautiful part about it, right?
I like it.
I need to do less on the back end, and a lot of the work is done on the front end. So if you've got a team, and when we work with people, we teach them how to set this up with their team so that they can do the thing that they are the best at. But if it's one person by themselves, then your commitment, you put in an hour a day in this, and you can book your diary out with 5, 10, 15 sales calls a week easily.
With an hour a day? Really?
60 minutes a day. And we even give you exact, this is exactly what you need to do, because we've proven it. We've had over 1,500 clients in 18 countries, and we've kind of tested some stuff along the way and found out what works,
I love it. I love it. So this sounds like it's the one piece that business owners really, truly need. Could this be used? It sounds like this is ideally for LinkedIn, but I think some of the systems and processes can be used or in other areas as well once you get it set up. But LinkedIn just seems like it's dialed in and ideal for that. But you could transfer the same skill set over to the people that you're meeting in on your Google ads and your Facebook ads. And when you're out talking, networking face to face, that weird thing that people do occasionally when we're not in quarantine. But I think that this is a skill that can really be transferred over to multiple things by having these clients or potential clients, the leads that you're looking for, be highly qualified because you've set up the systems ahead of time. You mentioned the page that you have on LinkedIn, your profile. I see so many profiles that look like a resume on
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Eh,
It's like the
I'm not
biggest
going to
mistake.
have a, okay, good, good. So give me some ideas of what you would have on that page so it looks more attractive to the customer, potential customer.
Absolutely. So you want to make it everything about them. The mistake most people make is they focus too much on themselves. And you see like, what I do, my skill set, how we can help you. And here's a quick like litmus test, right? If you read your about section and it's got too many I's, we's, us, my, whatever it is,
Hmm.
okay, it's too focused on you. We call that weing all over your customer.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. That's perfect. Okay, no more weeing on our customers.
No more weing on your customers,
I will
right?
always remember that.
So everything needs to be about the ideal client. From your banner, your background banner, it needs to focus on them and showing them what problems you solve. Your picture needs to be a professional picture, open, smiling. Your headline is now your pickup line, right? Which I've shared with you already.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then your about section is all about them, how identifying the problems that they've got and showing them how you're going to take them from their problem to the solution, giving calls to actions throughout the way. You want to have video testimonials of people who've gone through this and experienced results. And, there's only one little place that you brag about yourself. Everything else is about the ideal client and about their problems and what they're going through. And when you do that, you focus on them, they feel connected,
Mm.
right? And that's what you want.
And you're identifying exactly who they are, which is when you talked about shooting with a shotgun, you're too wide. And if you can narrow it in and really talk to them, that's where that connection comes in.
Exactly.
Like
And
it,
that's why it's so
like it.
important. You've got to focus on one. Because if you're trying to be a generalist and you can say, like, I can help you with fevers, runny noses, sore ankles, like people, I don't know what to come to you for, dude. Right?
Exactly. But if you say exactly but who you help,
Yeah.
the driven entrepreneurs, and you're solving this problem through this way, like you said in your pickup line, you
Yeah.
really can develop that out in that LinkedIn profile. I love that.
Yeah.
I do.
Solve one big problem for one ideal client and then go find more of them. Right?
Yes. Yes. I like that. So this has been really powerful learning stuff here, Matt. I'm loving this. How can listeners find out more about this? Because I know that they're going to want to check you out and see if you can help them find 2 to 5 high value leads each
Good.
each each week, right?
Yep. Each day, right?
Each
Two to five
day.
hours.
Holy cow, even shorter time. Each
I
day.
know,
Okay.
right?
Love
Okay,
it.
so how do you feel about like free gifts and free stuff?
We love free stuff. Are you kidding? Only if it's got some value to it though, right?
Absolutely. Well, my idea is, right, I'd rather have something of high value that's free than something that is, at a low ticket bits average, right? So what I've got for you guys is two things. Okay. So one way to reach me is on LinkedIn, obviously. Okay. It's Matt Clark SA. And let me know, send me a message. Don't just connect with me. Send me a message. Let me know you heard me on Marcia's show, and I'll actually let her know so you can get some feedback too.
Great.
Um, and also, the next way is to go to my website, www.thevirtualedge.com, and you can download the 20-minute profile makeover, which will actually take you through some of the steps that we've spoken about today and show you how you can set your profile up for conversions. And then after that, there is a 37 or 47-minute training. I can't remember how long it is anymore. It's a while ago since I shot it. Which will actually give you more value and more information and actionable strategies that you can put in place today and get results today. And there's no sales pitch. You're not going to be asked to buy anything. But if you do feel like this is a good fit and you want to have a conversation with us, book a call right on that page and let's have a chat and see if we can help you.
I love it. I'm going to go, as soon as we get off this line, I'm going to go look at my LinkedIn profile and get it optimized. And I'm going to go take that tip from you. But I encourage all the listeners to do the same because, wow, that sounds like, it's an easy way. It's solving the number one problem that us business owners have of not having enough leads. And getting 2 to 5 per day. Come on, with an hour's time. It just sounds too good to be true, but I think it's all the setup that you do beforehand that really makes that impact on it. So Matt, this has been amazing. And I'm loving the idea. I think it's great. Like I said, I'm going to go do it. Listeners, I challenge you, go do it. Matt's offering a really valuable free thing, and it's at thevirtualedge.com, correct?
That's it. Yes, correct.
Excellent, excellent. So, okay, listeners, go do that. And thank you for listening today. I hope you found an idea or two that you can put into your business that will help you become more profitable. If you'd like to learn more about how your business can not only survive or thrive and grab great ideas like this, go check out my page. It's at failproofbiz.com and pick up my 6 tips that will help you increase your cash flow right now. While you're there, join my 6-day big profit strategy sprint. It's starting a new one up really soon, and I'd love to get you in it. And this will help you get your profits growing fast. Matt and I would both love to hear your feedback, your questions, or even ideas for future shows. Please subscribe and comment on today's podcast and tell us what you think. And you can always catch Profit with a Plan on any of your favorite players. And we're looking forward to more great profitable information on next week's show. So make your plans and profit with them. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks for having me on, Marcia.